Yo guys, what's going on? I'm Tim Kelly. This is The Real Sports Talk. I appreciate you guys tuning in, changing up the intro a little bit there. Make sure you check out section215.com, facebook.com/The Real Sports Talk. Hit me up on Twitter at KSHKelly_TRST. That's Cash Kelly _TRST. At number 20 on my top 32 quarterbacks for 2013, I have Josh Freeman. I'm going to get to him in a minute, but let me recap numbers 32 through 21 to begin this. I had Nick Foles at 32, Chad Henne at 31, Christian Ponder at 30, 29 went to Kevin Kolb, newly of the Bills, 28 went to Matt Flynn, 27 went to new Arizona Cardinal, not St. Louis Cardinal, I'm still in baseball mode, Carson Palmer, 26 went to Mark Sanchez, 25 went to Brandon Weeden, 24 went to Mike Vick, who's in a big year, 23 went to Ryan Tannehill, who I think a lot of people have big expectations for, 22 went to Sam Bradford, a guy who I do see having a breakout year this year. 21 went to Alex Smith, now with Andy Reid in Kansas City. I explained my hesitancy to have big expectations for him in that system. And now at number 20 is Josh Freeman of the Tampa Bay Bucks. And Josh Freeman is a guy to me, first off, I love what the Bucks as a team did in the offseason. I think defensively, they've just become a more complete team. I like Greg Schiano as a coach a lot. I've seen a lot of him because I'm in the Philadelphia area, and he was at Rutgers prior to coming to the NFL. So I like Greg Schiano quite a bit. And I think when I look around, he brought a new mentality to that team. I like that a lot last year. And defensively, in the secondaries where they had a lot of their problems. Rondé Barber did retire, one of the best secondary players in the history of the NFL. But you bring in a guy who is, I think, the most dominant defensive player I've seen, maybe besides J.J. Watt at this point, in Darrelle Revis. If he's able to come back from that torn ACL, that is a huge pickup. The Eric Wright trade hasn't gone through, I don't believe, because of some problems with the physical. And then you have Deshaun Goldson, the safety, who I interviewed, formerly of the San Francisco 49ers. He's coming over there. He can get beat on the pass, but I like him a lot, and the deep pass he struggles with at times, which we saw in the Atlanta game. But overall, I like what they brought in quite a bit. Now, Josh Freeman last year threw for 4,065 yards, 27 touchdowns, and 17 picks. And I think as this team went, it was pretty much the story their entire year. There were weeks where they looked like a team that could be dangerous in the playoffs, and then there were weeks where they looked like a 6-10 team. And Josh Freeman, there were weeks where he looked like an elite quarterback. He would throw for over 300 yards, and then there were other weeks where you're seeing him throw up 3 or 4 interceptions. And he also had 8 fumbles last year. I think the biggest thing for him, and he's in a contract year if I'm correct, is cutting down on these turnovers. If he's able to do that and become more efficient this year, and that even goes into the passer rating at 86.1 and the QBR at 53.1. If he is able to become more consistent this year in terms of completing passes, being more accurate, then I think that he is a franchise-type quarterback. Now, a lot is going to come down to what happens around him offensively. Vincent Jackson came on in the second half of last season in his first year out of San Diego in Tampa Bay. Mike Williams just got a big extension, so he has 2 long-term receivers locked up. And then you look around, I like the left side of his offensive line quite a bit with Donald Penn and Carl Nix. The right side is where I'm a little hesitant on. They brought in Gabe Carimi, a former first-round pick who the Bears pretty much gave away for free. The guy, though, that I think determines how successful Josh Freeman can be is Doug Martin, who was the second-year player out of Boise State, was one of the best rookies in the NFL last year, and pretty much any normal year probably would have been a Rookie of the Year. And besides Alfred Morris, was probably the second-best Rookie of the Year. And Doug Martin, you helped me win my fantasy championship. Props to you, bro. I think there is a lot of reason to believe that, or at least a reason to be hesitant, that Doug Martin can put up the same numbers that he did last year. I don't know. I liked him a lot watching him. Everything was nice. But we've seen it before. We've seen it with Cadillac Williams. We've seen it with Ernest Graham. It seems to happen with the Bucs that they've had these running backs who will come in early in their careers, have good year or two, and you never see it again. I don't think that's what's going to happen from Doug Martin, but because he wasn't someone that was as highly touted out of college, he's somebody that I need to see it from repeatedly, because he didn't come from an SEC or a Pac-12 or Big 12, Big 10, whatever the hell it's called now, because he didn't come from a huge school that was playing against huge opponents. I just want to see Doug Martin do that again. If he's able to run the way that he did last year, I think Josh Freeman very easily could throw for over 30 touchdowns this year. I think he will cut down on the interceptions. He's always going to be someone that's going to turn the ball over 13 or 14 times, but those 13 or 14 not turning over 17 or 18 could be the difference between the Buccaneers going to the playoffs and sitting at home in January and maybe beyond, because Josh Freeman will cut down on those turnovers. If he's able to do that, then he is someone that will get a long-term extension and will certainly move up on this countdown come this time next year. So Josh Freeman checks in at number 20 on my top 32 quarterbacks for 2013 list. I'll catch you guys next time.